4 years ago, Shinji Aoba shocked not only the animing world, but the whole world as he lit KyoAni Studio 1 on fire. It resulted in 36 deaths and seriously injuring 30 others. There were many unsung heroes during that time, such as KyoAni President Tata Hideaki being the leadership voice of reason during that time of darkness, or the first responders that seized Aoba 100 meters away from the studio attacks. Amongst all these different heroes, today I want to highlight the work of Dr. Takahiro Ueda, the doctor who saved Aoba's life. The very reason why Aoba is standing trial today is because of the miraculous work of this one man. This is his story, the story beyond the raging fire. It's July 18, 2019 afternoon. Japanese media shares in collective disbelief the horrors of Aoba's terrorist attack. An attack that took away both veteran anime legends like director Yasuhiro Takemoto or fresh out of college graduate Yuka Kazami. It was an attack without reason, and pure chaos ensued after. Dr. Ueda was based in Osaka's Kinki University Hospital, and he felt a deep calling to get involved. This was because he was a specialist in burn treatment, and many of the KyoAni victims were fighting for their lives against severe burn wounds. Ueda reached out to all the hospitals in the region. He recounts telling everyone he has strong belief in his hospital's burn center. Please send us any victims of the KyoAni fires. We are here to help. Sadly, no one responded. But after 2 days, a hospital in Kyoto said that they had one patient they wanted to send. Dr. Ueda had an eerie feeling about this correspondence, but he told the Kyoto hospital to send the patient right away. And surely enough, Shinji Aoba shows up at the doors of his hospital. Many things were going through Dr. Ueda's mind, but one thing was clear. I felt strongly for the sake of the victims and their families. I cannot let this person escape death. I never wavered in this determination. The doctor and his team had to move fast. Aoba had severe burns over 93% of his body and had a 2.53% chance of surviving. Ueda decided to proceed with the latest burn treatment medical procedure. The procedure includes removing narcotic or dead body tissue from Aoba's entire body on 4 separate occasions. He then proceeds to paste in artificial material made out of collagen and other materials of Aoba's body. The final step of the procedure is transplanting in the final layer of artificial culture of skin cells. This culture takes 3 weeks to mature, and saying that 3 weeks was a hurdle would be a huge understatement. Dr. Ueda and his team had to monitor Aoba's body for the next 21 days as they had to fight against any infections and other last-minute measures. The doctor recounts this hell reality in his personal journal. Severe dizziness the moment I woke up. I couldn't get rid of the fatigue at all. My intercom kept ringing from the media trying to reach me. Hello? Is this where Takahiro Ueda lives? This was only adding to my stress. Son of a bitch. Don't let him die. Thankfully, the amazing work of this doctor led to Aoba's conditions improving drastically. Then finally one day, Aoba's voice came out. He thought he would never speak again, and he started to cry. He actually cried all day, even deep into the evening. I'm sure in response to all this, Ueda-san was insanely conflicted. Because on one hand, he was fulfilling his medical duties of saving the life of the patient, but on the other hand, this weak, pitiful patient before him was a serial killer that took away many innocent lives. In the coming days, Aoba would speak on multiple occasions, and he would keep saying that he has no allies around him. One story that kinda made me chuckle was on November 7, 2020. Aoba asked the doctor if he could be sent home. In response, Dr. Ueda retorted, "How are you even going to live if you can't even walk?" "No, I can walk." "Okay, then move your legs." Aoba couldn't move his legs and looked completely resigned. The suspect finally gets transferred out of Ueda's hospital 10 months after the incident and gets formally arrested. As Aoba was leaving the Osaka hospital, Dr. Ueda's only thoughts were, "I think it's very important to make him repent or regret what he did." And I wonder if we could hear such words from him. This is the site of Studio 1 in 2023. The studio building has been long cleared and is now surrounded by a fence. The news that kind of broke my heart is that after 4 years, there are still several employees that are still receiving treatments for their burns and other injuries. That is low-key depressing because not only do these victims need to deal with mental and physical trauma, they also now gotta deal with the heap of growing medical bills. Let me do some quick math here. In total, KyoAni received $32.57 million in donations, and let's say conservatively, KyoAni takes 20% of this to clear out Studio One's buildings and other business expenses. So with 69 victims, that's about $377,623 per victim. And as a case study, let's study a person with severe burn wounds covering 50% of their body, and they need to provide for a family of 4. According to a scholarly paper called The Cost of Burn Victim Hospital Cares Around the World, in a country with a 0.924 HDI score, aka Japan, the average cost for each 1% of body burnt is $3,708. 50 times that, you get a total medical bill of $185,448. Yearly living expense for a family of 4 in Kyoto is $44,808, and in this study, return to work after burn injury states that majority of workers return to some form of work in 3.3 years. 44,808 times 3.3 equals 147,372, plus that medical calculation we did earlier of 185,448, which adds up to a grand total of $332,820. With each victim getting a $377,623 donation, that leaves you with $44,803. And we're not even taking into consideration therapy for their trauma or further medical expenses. But now let's look at the bigger issue on hand for each of these victims: dead friends, lifelong trauma, and the constant harassment of Japanese media. This is a footage of Dr. Ueda visiting Aoba in the Osaka detention center one last time ahead of his trials. With a wary look on his face, the doctor reports that Aoba's physical body is fully stabilized and now further treatment is not needed. I felt sort of bad for the doctor for the sheer mental pressure that was dropped on his shoulders. But as that thought crossed my mind, we cut to Ueda implementing the breakthrough medical procedure he gained from the Aoba operation. He implements the cultured skin cell procedure on the patient who is suffering from burn wounds across 95% of his body. We are then shown this beautiful clip of the same man who is now able to walk again after having 10 surgeries in his ankles. Ueda saves one more man. It then cuts to a young student running up to Dr. Ueda, and she tells him that she is going to become a paramedic after learning of his inspiring story. She wanted to be able to support and save patients who are being brought to the hospital. This is the first time the tired doctor's face lights up. Dr. Ueda was having trouble finding his words, but the KyoAni hero ends by saying, "This is my biggest accomplishment." At this following site, where 36 died, 33 victims injured, the people involved, their fates are now all interconnected as they are preparing for the final verdict of Aoba on January 25th, 2024. My heart goes out to both the victims and especially the KyoAni staff members that passed in this tragic incident. All those beautiful animes that could have been. What an absolute shame. Beyond that raging fire from 2019, what truly remains?
あなたの声が道しるべ